big game of the weekend, then Liverpool versus Arsenal at Anfield. Let's hear from the two managers, Jurgen Klopp and Mikel Arteta.
Mythical place that everyone talks about in press conferences and sees. You played there, you managed there. What is it? Why is it different?
It is different because it's different to Old Trafford. Old Trafford is a beautiful atmosphere as well, and something that historically it's an unbelievable place to go. And there are a few in this country, and the Emirates is one of them as well, because a lot of people talk about coming to the Emirates. I don't think they enjoy it so much. So that's the beauty of it, that you have to go to these stadiums and you have to prove as a team what you are capable of doing in that context.
You've spoken before, I think, on a documentary about when you went there as a player once, did the 5-1 defeat, and it's the only time in your career you felt a bit lost in the game. What was that experience like, and why do you think that happened now you've had a chance to think back on it?
I think I explained that sometimes when you don't feel at your best, or you feel that that they are on top of you and you cannot get out of that washing machine, and try to overcome those situations. But that's a learning. It happened once, it didn't happen again.
What could you do on the training ground to stop that washing machine or your players getting in it?
All the game plan and everything that we discussed, to try to tomorrow be away from that game and put our washing machine that is very powerful.
Mikel, one of the things Jurgen Klopp said when he was talking about the atmosphere needing to be better from his point of view was he shouldn't have to have an argument on the touchline to get fans going. Have you got to be conscious that if there is anything on the touchline, then you might be handing Liverpool an advantage by getting involved in that?
There won't be any.
You're going to be on your best behaviour.
Hi, Mikel. With Liverpool wingers such as Mo Salah, Luis Diaz, do you think one of the crucial battles here is their two wins against Zinchenko and Ben White? Or could that be one of the crucial factors?
Well, every duel is very important. Obviously, they have players with the ability to create special moments and score goals. We have as well.
And in terms of the league table, we've seen City in recent weeks slip up, and Liverpool are on a great run of form. Could this game, in some ways, it is early, but could it kind of set an example as to how the league could unfold in the second part of the season?
I don't know. It's going to be a really competitive match for sure that we're going to try to win. And if we manage to do that, I think it's going to be a really powerful thing for our team.
And in terms of the Brighton game, you, of course, received the fourth yellow card on the touchline. Are you getting a bit tired of getting booked to the touchline? Do you think you're being unfairly targeted here? Or is it just you can't help the expressions?
I don't know. Let's move on to the next question.
Thanks.
Morning, Mikel. One thing that was common in your teams last season was really fast starts in the first 15 minutes. How important is that to get an early goal, and how does that help manage a game?
It's always better, obviously, to start winning and start with the feeling that you are on top of them and you are dominating the game. And we've been better recently again in the last few weeks at doing that, and that's always helpful. And but in big matches like that, you have to be at a really high level for 100 minutes, and that's the challenge and the opportunity tomorrow.
And one reason I mentioned that is this season, sort of noticeable. One thing Arsenal do from kickoff is straight back to David or Aaron, and they go long. With that specifically, just a general question, what's the advantage of going long from kickoff rather than playing short at any level of football?
Well, we've done it last year as well in many situations, depending on the team's and the opponent's behavior as well, what they are trying to achieve there and where you're going to play in the next few seconds. Doesn't always work. You can play short as well. So it's depending on the opponent more or less.
One more. Just generally about bookings this season, there's been more red cards than well, we're on course to have 80 this season, roundabout. Do you think that is to the detriment of the game if referees are a bit too willing to give out red cards? It changes the game a bit too much. Should they try and manage the game a bit more?
No, I think if they are fair, yellow or red cards, that's how they have to control the games, and it's just about the decision, and decision is correct. Why not?
Thanks very much, kindly.
Mikel, you mentioned earlier on that you regret not having won enough important things. Is that actually a regret as much as a motivation for the future?
Sorry,
you said you hadn't won enough important things trophies
Yeah.
in your 4 years. Is that a regret, or, as well as a motivation to?
Well, I know the difficulty when I'm talking about that is the Premier League and the Champions League, and how many have we won in the last 50 years, But this is what we want. We want to be the best team in the country. We want to be a team in European competition constantly that is really fighting for it, and that doesn't happen overnight. I think we made big strikes, and we are there. Again, what it takes to make that to the next level.
Be involved. Are you in agreement with that, or should clubs at least be allowed to explore the possibility of joining this new format that's been proposed?
No, I agree 100% with that statement. But I like the verdict anyway. Just like it that we finally get a little bit of understanding that FIFA and UEFA and other FAs or whatever cannot just do what they want. Creating new, because we have to talk about in the future of football, we have to talk about a lot of stuff. And if you're just doing the things they do, like putting in competitions with more games and nobody has a real say in it, and like, what's going on there, I like that they get a bit of a shake. And okay, you cannot exactly do what you want, but no, Super League, same opinion like I had before.
Obviously, after the game in midweek, you raised the issue of the atmosphere at Anfield. Do you expect a response at the weekend? And what is the solution long term to ensure that week after week after week you are getting top-notch atmosphere?
No, it's not. That maybe I have to. I can tell our people exactly. It's not. I don't order atmospheres or whatever. It's just we had 2 home games in a row, and these 2 home games we had 62 finishes. I think that's pretty special. I would say that's what football is all about. And imagine we would have scored of all of them. That's ridiculous. Or will never happen. So you will have these moments where you create a chance and you miss it. And in our very best times, and I understand, but I'm pretty sure not everybody is now thinking, oh my God, Klopp is right. And it's not about that. It's my feeling directly after a game. It was exactly like that. And when I turned around, because people was talking about that, when I turned around, we missed a chance. And I turned around and people were sitting like flat. And I thought, what actually do we want? Creating a chance is the closest you can get to score a goal. And now the difference is in the very good times, and when we are when we're all in our middle and we all enjoy the situation, what we should do, because we are in a pretty good position in the league. So, and maybe a bit quicker than people expect. That's possible. I don't know. And then the difference for me is if you have a chance and you miss it, it's, oh. But after that, the stadium goes bonkers because immediately we go for the next chance. And that was different. It was. So, and it's no criticism. I enjoyed 99.7% of each second in that stadium. I love it to bits. The atmosphere, these people, and not different people, not other people. And I know sometimes them are in and sometimes them are in, and we have some other issues. And I said, give the ticket to somebody. Now people explained to me, it's not possible only with the family member. So I didn't take it that. I didn't know that it's everybody takes me word for word, but maybe after all the years I should get used to that. I am overly happy with everything, but it's like if we can do better, people show us. Yeah, fine. And I said something, and that's all. And if people wanted to understand me right, I think it was possible, and if not, then not. I cannot change that now, and it's not. I have nothing to say about the atmosphere. What I said is we need Anfield tomorrow. That's 100% true, and I can't wait for the first whistle, to be honest.
I was going to come on to that then. How much do you love this situation when the top 2 are going head-to-head at Anfield and the chance to take top spot?
I love it the most when you are first and now 55 points ahead. So because it's a pure joy, but it's all fine. I love it. It's how I said, we are in the position we are. It's not that bad. And we play a super strong team. We play a team that played an exception last season and coming back and is even better than last season. Bringing in top players, had already a top team, bringing in really good players. To improve the team, did that, went through the Champions League pretty easily, and play a really good Premier League campaign. So, massive game. It's great to have them. great to meet them. We met obviously quite frequently, and yeah, it's good. But we have to make sure we make it a proper home game, a proper Anfield experience. That's all I want.
Jürgen, Arsenal seem to have found an extra gear this season almost. Do they look like a real title contender this time? Do they look like they found that?
I thought they looked like that last year, to be honest, and then some results kicked in or whatever. I don't know even exactly the reasons, to be honest. I remember our game here. They were outstanding until we found a way into the game, and then maybe in the end we should have won it. Maybe they had other chances as well. I can't remember them, to be honest, but I can remember Ibu Konate 2-2 with the chest half a yard in front of the goal. So I'm still wondering how we couldn't score there. That was the team we faced, super strong team, and that's what they are. And now you bring in Rice and Havertz, that doesn't make you worse. Ryan goal, it doesn't make you worse. So it's just that Mikel built exactly the team he wanted, and they are difficult to play. They are good. They are a good mix between the physicality, like big, strong players, fast, good technique, very good organization. They are really well coached, well drilled. You can see every year they make another step. They have really my respect, but we won the points anyway.
Curtis Jones was sensational in midweek. I mean, you had a number of sensational performances. Does he come into the thinking to potentially get started weekend?
They all are. In our situation, they all are. And yes, he was exceptional. He played a super game. I said, I think it was maybe it was the best game we played this season so far, and that's with a really changed lineup, and it was really good. I liked it a lot. Curtis scored 2 goals. Was defensively there. Was really active, aggressive in the right manner. But Harvey Elliott played a really good game as well. So, and some others as well. So we will start with 11, and pretty much 5 of the others will come on, I'm pretty sure.
Mike. Jürgen, how much of a good barometer can this battle be for what the season might hold when you consider you're on the back of maybe your best performance of the season? Arsenal, great last season there, Peter, improved, a lot more efficient, but you've had a great start as well.
What do you mean exactly with barometer?
Well, this game, what do you think it can tell us for what
match days
the rest of the season might
18?
provide?
Match day 18? Match day 18. That's a barometer. So that means after that we play 20 more games, right? So we win it, we are not through. They win it, they are not through, even when probably that's then the headlines they have to deal with. It's just a super important football game, and we were result-wise pretty stable this season. That's the basis for everything. It's the basis for consistency. That you get results. We did that. So actually, you realize now why I'm a bit stuttering. I didn't really think about it. I couldn't care less. It's really I'm just interested in this game tomorrow and not what it means for the rest of the season or whatever. I spoke the other day about it, that I said the position we are in is okay. We don't feel now that it's like exceptional. I mean, wow, how did we end up here? So I really think we deserve where we are. But that's just the basis. It's before, but January, February, when it's really getting interesting. Where are you? Then you might see you play lesser games than you already played, and you see is there a distance or not. And there might be a moment. I don't know exactly when, March maybe or April, when you think, okay, 6-pointer, you win today, and then you have them out of the way or whatever. But that's obviously far off, and nobody thinks about these kind of things. We have enough, believe me, to prepare a game like this. I enjoyed it a lot, but it's really, there's no space for left and right. There's enough to do to make sure that they cannot do what they want, and we can do what we want.
Another good performance in midweek from Wataru Endo. We've seen good performances from him before, but he appears to be bringing more consistent levels. What's enabled him to do that?
Getting used to it, just like that. We forgot, and we don't give people time anymore. We do internally, but because we talk every 3 days or more often about these kind of things. it feels like after 4 weeks, now we speak already that long about it, when it will finally click. That's how it is. We had some of the biggest players this club in my area ever saw needed time to adapt. Some others didn't, but some big players did. We can not just to mention Andy Robertson didn't play half a year. Pretty much was not in the squad. Hopefully he forgot that as well, but it's anyway true. And Fabinho we had to change system for because he couldn't play a 6 alone. And later on he could play that easily, made it his position, so it's all fine. And you need a bit of time, that's all. But we see him every day in training, and he is one of the hardest working people I ever met. It was always clear that he will be good. But I'm happy, obviously, for him that the public could see it now as well. So because that's pretty helpful in our job. And yeah, it was a really good game, and he gives something different to the team. We have to say that it's clear. He gives it. He's the one for the tackles. We don't have now 20 players on the pitch who have tackling as a hobby, but he's doing it. And on top of that, his passing is really good. His awareness is really good. He finds his position better in possession. All these things. It's football, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but that's no problem for me.
Thank you. Carl?
You just mentioned Andy Robertson there. Is there a return for him coming into view soon?
Andy has said yes, pretty long with him, and it's actually he's doing well. The problem is a little bit the shoulder is not exactly right. It's not the shoulder is not there. The rest of the body's fine, but he need to be patient a little bit. Need to be patient a little bit longer. But it's fine. So he can do all the physical work already, which annoys him quite a lot because it's not allowed for ball training, a little bit passing maybe and stuff like this, but not properly. But physically, when he's ready to go, allowed to go, shoulder-wise, then I think it's a short time until he will be back. We all hope it will be in January, but I don't know.
After when Joel got injured, you ended up answering a lot of questions about centre backs, but I'm just wondering how much of a bonus the form of Joel Cranford has been for you in terms of his development.
It didn't change since then. It was good before, so it's not that Joel now played good since then. So we knew about him before that. So that's our situation we have, and long-term injuries are always a problem. And of course, with Joel's long-term injuries, it's a problem. But it's we have to sort it internally, and we can, thankfully, because of the way the boy shows up. It's just really good.
Neil Jones?
Yeah, obviously you've got a lot of games at this time of year. You've got Burnley and Boxing Day. I think people would have eventually said we're not looking forward to that. that was obviously a joke.
No, it was 100% true. My God. The situation at night. I invite you now a little bit in my life. The situation at night. I come into our stadium. Kids are playing. Quarefield. They score a goal when I arrive. They score a goal, and 7,000 people go bonkers. And I thought, oh my God, how nice is that? So that was the mood I arrived. Then Pete asked me questions, and a minute after I finished, I think maybe I said it in the mic tomorrow. There will be all headlines, but I didn't think for a second it was serious or whatever stuff like this. I said a lot of stuff. I'm a real idiot and help you a lot with all these things, but so the question around that was, how will be your Christmas? Blah blah blah. And I said, who cares here about my Christmas? Nobody does really. Yours as well, by the way. And in that moment, I didn't know. Obviously, I know when we play Burnley, but in that specific moment, I was not there and had to sketch him. And I don't know, where do we play? I said Burnley. Oh, great place to be. So if he would have said London, I would say great place to be. If he would have said Fidji's, I would say great place to be because we play football there, and I wouldn't have been with my family. So the family of one of my best friends is from Burnley. Just to make sure I have no issue with it. If anybody thought I have, then he might have an issue with Burnley. I don't know, but I have nothing. I go there for playing football like I go in all other cities. I never saw a bit of Burnley besides the stadium. Did I always enjoy being in that stadium? No, because they gave us hard fights, but that's it. Again, welcome on my planet. So
Part of Arsenal this week. The last time Arsenal won at Liverpool, he was a player.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you normally don't go win at Anfield. Don't matter who you are. Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. That as a Man United player, that was the hardest place to go and play football. And you can understand why Arsenal don't go and win there. But I think this is the best chance in a very, very long time to go and win there. I think with Declan Rice now, the personality he gives his team in difficult moments, he'll help. But I think normally, and Tim, you will probably agree, you're normally happy to go there and just get a point. A point is a good result. If you can win, obviously that's great. But a draw at Anfield is still a great result.
Yeah, they won't be going there looking for a point there. They'll be going there with full belief that they can dominate Liverpool. It's not going to be as easy as that. You know, Jurgen's asking for that crowd at Anfield to be at their best. And they're going to need them. They're going to need all the help they can get. It's a 50-50 game. It's a really difficult one to call. I mean, if I had to stick my neck out, I would say Liverpool with home advantage, just.
It's such an interesting one because Anfield is known for the atmosphere. It's known for the crowd. And then to hear Jurgen Klopp saying, if you're not up for it, give your ticket away.
I understand him. I understand why he's saying it, because it's his fault, because he's spoiled them. They go there expecting to be entertained, expecting to win every single week. It doesn't happen like that. It's difficult. And they get a little bit complacent, but they're entitled to do whatever they want. When they spend their money, they can sit there and let that team entertain them. Whatever they want to do, but he's just asking them. I think he's asking them politely, a little bit more politely today than he did after the game in the heat of the moment. And he's saying, we need you. He's just asking for help because he knows how difficult this game is going to be. It's going to be a fantastic game of football.
Is 1 versus 3 now still top of the table? Are these the two main challenges to City's throne, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be that, those three teams, Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal. I think Aston Villa showed today that, look, they're a brilliant team, but they're still a step behind the top teams, even though points-wise they're right there. But it's such a huge game for Arsenal. If they can go and win there, then I think I genuinely believe that they can go and win the Premier League trophy. I think everybody right now still has Man City as favourites, even though they're behind. They're going to go on a run. They're going to get De Bruyne back. But I think for Arsenal, they're in such a good position. They want to find a way to go and win there. I think it's unlikely that they win there, but it'd be interesting to see if they try and play to win or they just take a point.
Yeah, because it's two of the best defences in the league as well doing battle. Two of the big centre-backs in Van Dijk and Saliba as well. So do you have a feeling that it's going to be that closely contested, that's going to be reflected? Like we saw last week, because Tim last week said Man United are getting a hiding, and that wasn't the case. It was close.
Who do you think will win the match between Arsenal and Liverpool? One thing I know so sure, Liverpool will win the match at least 3-1 or 3-2. Because when Liverpool in the mood, even although the match they draw against Manchester United, if Liverpool score all their chances, Liverpool have won that match at least 5-0 also. I think what will happen to Arsenal today, they will not believe it. What do you think who will win the match and your scoreline? Feel free to leave your comment in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. See you in my next video. Bye for now.